Alright, now it's time for frequency and separation. So let's create a new layer at the top, press Ctrl Shift Alt E. So we copy a version of our image. Now let's zoom in a bit. Let's call this low frequency or low F dash. We call this color because we're just going to separate the color from the texture. Press Ctrl Command J. Let's call this high F, high frequency, and texture. This layer is just going to keep the texture. This layer is just going to keep the color. Now turn that off. Click the low F color. Let's go to filter, noise, and median. The median should be between 9 and 14. Right now I'm just going to keep it at 12. You see, we don't see the texture, but we see the lines. So that's what we want. We see the lines, we don't see the texture. So it means it's okay. Now let's click on the high F. Now the high F texture is selected. Let's go to image, apply image. Make sure the layer is low F, the layer below it. The blending is on add, invert, scale 2, offset 0. Right? So remember thing. Layer is layer below it, blending is add, invert it, make sure to check, scale 2, offset 0. Press OK. And the normal should be on linear light. Hold down Control, click, select both of them, Command Control G to group them. We call this FS, frequency separation. How we know it's correct? Because if I turn this off, it should be no difference between layer below it and FS. You know, there is a lot of special things going on, but still combining these two layers, the color and texture, if I turn that off, is the same thing as the layer below it. Alright, cool. So this was for 16-bit image. It means the image that we got it from camera raw. If you take a photo with your camera and the photo is raw, it's going to be 16-bit. And this is the way that we apply the image for 16-bit. But what if our image was 8-bit? It means normal image with the camera, with an iPhone or whatever. I'm just going to drag an image. A normal image is 8-bit, is here, 8-bit. And here is 16-bit. So how we do this? Command Control J, let's call this low F. Command Control J again, let's call this high F. Again, turn it off. Come to low F, filter, noise, and median. Let's keep it at 12 as long as we see the line, no texture. Okay. Click on high F, turn it on, image, apply image. Layer should be layer below it. It means low F. Blending is on subtract for 8-bit image. Scale 2, offset 128. Now press OK. Again, blending is on linear light. I'm just gonna select both of them, Command Control G to group them, call this FS. Right now should be no different between this one and the layer below it. It means is correct. So as long as we have these two, the process is the same. So I'm just gonna come back here. The same process with this one. All right. Now we need the help layer again. I'm just gonna bring it up, put it at the top. If I can bring it, put it on the top. Right, cool. And turn this on, but make sure, open it up, go to the curve, bring down the shadow a bit so we see more specific line. This is what we want for our blending. Now I'm just gonna go to frequency separation, turn the high F, check it off, Let's go to low F color, press B on your keyboard and come to mixer brush, right? Choose the mixer brush tool. Make sure this is off, it means it's transparent. Everything is on 30, wet 30, load, mix, and flow is on 30. And this one 0, this is 0, this is unchecked. If you have a different setting on your mixer brush, make sure you come here and reset the tool. If you reset the tool, everything is just going to come back to the normal. Alright, and this is the way it works. I'm just going to come here and slowly with the mixer brush and come and gradually combine the dark and bright side together. That's all we do. We combine the bright side to the dark side, but gradually. So see, this area is dark. We have to gradually combine this with the surrounding areas. For example, this one, see, there is no specific line anymore. We are going to combine this and we kind of shaping and painting, but carefully. So gradually removing the harsh line and we kind of mixing the colors together. That's all we do. We're not gonna change the shape of the face, of course, but with this method we get a better result, and we also can change a bit and hold the texture the way that we want, like this. There's a lot of things we can do with this method and it's perfect and it's easy. Just gonna come close and slowly go back and forth. Make sure the color are mixed and that's all. Let's Ctrl Z, Ctrl Z again. If we go too far, that's why we go from left to right, means white to black, white to black. If I come back from black to white, it's gonna be like this. Ctrl Z. That's why we have to be careful which one we clicking first. If I click on the bright side, going to the dark side, I have to go back and forth. For this, I'm just gonna create a better shape for the nose. This is the way the nose works. Let's go back and zoom in a bit. Press B again, and gradually this is too dark. See? Gradually we're mixing the black and white, so there is no harsh edges. That's all, guys. That's the technique. And as I said, if your setting is different, make sure you reset your brush or any tools that it doesn't work properly. You see how easy and cool is that? Let's zoom back a bit because we overdo things, that's all. So we have to avoid that with zooming back. See, now it's gradually done. Very nice. Ctrl Z, I did too much. Should have to be very, very carefully, because I'm not trying to change the shape. Trying to focus on the part that are not matched. You see, there is a lot of messy things, but let's check it at the end. From black to white, white to black, gradually mixing the colors, guys. very gently, very slowly. Be careful, just watch it. All right, see, now gradually we're getting better and better. Slowly go. So let's see before and after, and after that we're just gonna fix this part. So turn that off, turn on this layer, and see how cool is that. See before and after with frequency. This is without frequency separation, and this is with frequency separation. See how cool is that? Now let's turn on the help layer again, and for now this part I can't see. Click on the curve, bring up the shadows. Cool. Now turn off the high F, the texture, go to low F, and right now we can just shape the face properly. See that? That's why we're using this technique. We don't use the Gaussian blur technique. And at the end, everything is gradual, guys. See? No harsh line should be found in this technique. See? Everything is gradual. We're removing the harsh line and we go forward. Okay, cool. That's it. Turn off the help layer, turn on the high F, and voila. Very, very interesting, guys. Let's come back to this part again, turn that off, the help layer, and let's go here. Just remember, go over everything. I mean, all the skins. Don't say this is hand, I don't need it, it's okay, but trust me, at the end it's just gonna show it. So make sure you go over all of these guys and make it proper to make flow with all the process, I mean all the image. Alright, cool. Turn that off, we don't need it. Turn it on, the texture. Now let's zoom in. Now we are on the texture. Press S on your keyboard for clone stamp tool. Make sure the sample is on current layer, opacity 100%, flow 100%, and slowly, guys, I'm just gonna zoom in for this one. S again for clone stamp tool, make it small. Guys, very slowly, I'm just gonna come here and copy from the exact same size, I mean the exact same area, and remove a small little detail, but I'm not removing the texture. I mean, I'm trying to keep the texture, but remove the small little dots. You mean, see, and make the area the same. This small little bumpy skin texture are not really nice. So that's why we are trying to remove them, but the texture is intact. We don't really removing anything because the texture is totally separated. That's why when we're using clamp stamp tool, we don't use other stuff. The clamp stamp tool is just gonna affect the texture. And now this area, let's fix it. very gradually from next to it, guys. Slowly and gradually. Cool. This area, these spots. Here we go. And here. See these small little dots. We're going to fix all of them, guys. And these dots here. Cool. These areas. Now let's come back to the left part of the face. You see, very gradually I'm just gonna combine the texture together from the same area. Very nice. Okay, cool. See, I'm just gonna keeping the texture, but see the face, the other part is the same. Very gradually. Sometimes you don't notice, but we are working, really. But very small little detail, guys. Each time, one step. Very interesting. We'll go down to see the eyes. When the under the eyes are totally fine. Now these areas. I'm just gonna select next to it and let's clean around the lips. See little bumpy areas here and the small little holes that is just gonna show. That's why we're fixing all of these things, guys. Very nice. We have to be patient with this technique because as you see, the result is amazing. Just look at it. Look what we. Some people keep this line, but for this part, I don't really like it because it's just gonna be look like a fantasy image. This is so cool. Very nice. Right, cool. I mean, most of the part are right now is done. We need some perfections. I mean, some small little details that we think we can make it better. So we work on those small little things. And sometimes some people say it's enough, but I'm looking for something really flawless. I mean, when you look at it, I say, wow. I mean, it should be something like this. We need something wow. We need something magical. That's why we keep working until we get that. Guys, just if you really love to do this and the result, you see that, I mean, it's gonna be amazing. We know it's gonna be amazing. We're just gonna work hard to make it perfect. That's why just put on some music and slow and enjoy. I mean, just really just enjoy what you do. I mean, how cool is that? How great is that? To create something like this. And for me, I really, really enjoy this. Oh, it's very cool. It takes time, I mean, it takes time, but I like it. With every single cells in my body, I like what I do. Especially when you put on some music, you know. I mean, it's like you are in the air. And in future, we definitely go for a lot of cool stuff. I mean, for photo manipulation and a lot of other stuff as well. And I'm sure you're just gonna enjoy it, guys. All the courses and all the videos. Wow. How cool is that? Just take a look at it. Just look at it. Don't you guys enjoy this? Alright. Let's turn off the without frequency suppression and with frequency and suppression. Let's come here. Let's fix some of this part. Let's open up the frequency, go to high frequency, S. A small little things that we can fix. Here we go. You see how cool is that? And how easy is that? It's lovely. I'm sure you guys are enjoying this too. Very interesting. Just gonna come back and clean this part as well. Very nice and cool. S this part a bit. I believe that's it. Maybe press S on my keyboard and this part. I think I can make it better. See how we work on this? We go zoom back and forth until we get something perfect. I believe this is the perfect frequency suppression. Just here, just go back. Hold on, Alt. Zoom back. We have some little spot here, so we can work on that too. I'm just gonna press S and a small little detail maybe. I mean, this is up to you guys, and until you can just go back and forth until you see something is totally perfect. You have to really work on these things. They are not that just disappear by themselves. I mean, it's your work, your job. You have to put the time and effort and deliver something flawless, something inspiring. Always remember that. Alright.